Hi there, welcome to my channel Mando to Fundo. In this video, I'm going to discuss about the solution for two-sum problem where the input array is not sorted. Let's look at the problem description. We are given an integer array nums and then an integer target. We have to return the index of the two numbers such that they add up to the target. And also there is only one solution in the input. So let's take a look at the example 1. So the nums array is 2, 7, 11, 15. The target is 9. So in this case, 2 and 7 adds up to 9. So the index of the 2 is 0 and 7 is 1. Similarly, 3, 2, 4, 6. Target is 6. So 2 plus 4, 6. So 1, 2 is the output. And also the input has duplicates as well. So 3, 3. Target is 6. And the index is 0, 1. The constraints are the nums array's length is ranging from 2 to 10 to the power 4 and nums array's values ranging from minus 10 to the power 9 to 10 to the power 9, and same thing for the target value. And also there is only one valid answer exists in the input. Let's look at the approaches to solve this problem. So we are given an array and the target is 6 and the expected output is 1, 2. So the first approach is we can compare each element with every other elements in the input array. For example, we take 3 and add it with 2, 5, and then add it with 4, 7. So it's not matching. Then we go to number 2. We add it with 3, 5, and we add it with 4, 6. So we found the match here. So the output is 1, 2. So in this case, we need to perform the comparison order of n square times in the first case. So this is not feasible. So the approach 2 is using the hash table, where the hash table key is the number and the value is the index of that number in that array. So for example, in this array, the hash table looks like that: 3 and the index is 0, 2, index is 1, 4, index is 2. So we will not build the hash table in a single pass, but as we iterate over the input array, we build the hash table. So first we will compute the second number. For example, in this iteration 0, we take the number 3 and then we compute the second number by subtracting this from 6, so which is 3. We will check whether the current hash table is containing the value key 3. If there is 1, then we return that number. Otherwise, we will add this number into the hash table. So this is not during the first iteration. There is the hash table is empty. So we just take this number, we look up this hash table, and there is none. Then we add an entry for this number in the hash table. As we traverse all the elements in the array, slowly we build the hash table. At the same time, check whether the second number exists. If it exists, we will return from that loop by adding the index of first number and the second number in the output list. Let's look at the flowchart. Input for this procedure is the numbers array and the target value. First we initialize the two-sum dictionary hash map and then the out list and the count and index variables to be used in the for loop. So the count will be set to the number of elements in the numbers array. Then we enter the for loop We check whether the index is less than count. If so, there is some elements to be processed. First, we compute the second number by subtracting the numbers of index from the target value. Once that second number is, we check whether that number is existing in the hash map. If so, we found the match. Then what do? We append the first number's index and then the value of the second number key to the out list, and then we return from the function. Otherwise, we check whether the numbers of index, the first number, exist in the dictionary. If it doesn't exist, then we add that number into the dictionary with the corresponding index, and then we proceed to the next iteration of the loop. This loop will run until all the elements are checked, and finally we come out of the loop and we return the out list. Let's move on to coding. First, I initialize the two-sum dictionary, which is a key value pair of the number and its index, and then I initialize the out list. This for loop traverses the input array. So let me change the input array's name to numbers for readability. First, I compute the second number by subtracting the first number from the target value. Then I look at the, then I check the dictionary whether that second number exists. If it exists, then I add the first index and the second index to the out list. And then I return that out list. Else, I check whether the first number does exist in the dictionary. If not, then I add that first number into the dictionary with the corresponding index value of that number. And once we process all the elements, then finally I return the out list. Next, I am going to run the test cases. All the tests passed. Next, I am going to submit this program. Cool, it's accepted. Next, I am going to do the code walkthrough with sample input. So we have the input numbers array 3, 2, 4 and the target value is 6, and the expected output is 1 comma 2. So the 2 and 4 adds up to 6. So we have to return 1 comma 2. So initially the two-sum dictionary is empty. The first iteration, the first index is 0 and the first number is 3, and the second number is computed by subtracting 3 from the target value 6. So we see second number also 3. So we computed the second number and then we look up the dictionary for the second number, and it doesn't exist because initially it is empty. So number 3 doesn't exist in the dictionary. So we check the first number, which is also 3. If it doesn't exist, then we add that number to the dictionary. So at the end of the first iteration, we will see this key value pair in the two-sum dictionary. In the next iteration, the first number's index will be 1, 1, and we compute the second number by subtracting the value 2 from 6. So the second number will be 4. Now we check whether the number 4 exists in the dictionary. So the dictionary do not have any number 2 as key. So we add that into the dictionary. So now the two-sum dictionary contains 3, 0 key value pair and 2, 1 key value pair. In the iteration 2, the first number's index is 2 and the first number's value is 4, and we compute the second number by subtracting 4 from 6, so we get 2. So we look up the dictionary for number 2 as key. There exists an entry in the dictionary. So what we will be doing, we add this index, the first number's index, and the value in the dictionary for number 2 as key, so which is 1. So 2, 1 will be added to the out list, and then we will be returning back to the caller so that we get the expected output. Next, I'm going to do the time and space complexity analysis for this solution. Let's see how many times this for loop runs for this input. So first we take this number 3 and then compute the second number 3. So there is no entry for this number exists in the dictionary, and then we take number 2. The second number we compute is 4 for this number. So there is no entry exist for the key 4. So we go to the third number, which is 4, and that when we subtract this from the target we get 2. So when we look for the key 2, that exists in the dictionary. So we have to iterate over this entire input array to find the pair. So that is the size of the input. So the time complexity is order of n. So with respect to the space complexity, we need to build the hash table for each input in the numbers array. In the worst case, by the way, we are not building at the beginning we are not building the entire hash table at the beginning. Instead, as we iterate over the input array, we build the hash table whenever needed. So in the worst case, if there are no matching pair exist for the target value, then we ended up building the two-sum dictionary with size n. So worst case space complexity is order of n. Thanks for watching this video. Have a great day.